Good evening and welcome to the October 1st Council meeting. If you'd please stand, Councilman Hargrove is going to lead us in the flag salute this evening. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. And our first proclamation is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, October 2019. I'd like to call up June Sano, Clinical Specialist with the City of Chino, Pat Bell, Executive Director with the House of Ruth, Rhonda Beltran, Director of Development with the House of Ruth, Renee Young, Board President, also with the House of Ruth, Chantel Smith, another board member from the House of Ruth, and Nicole Selovich, Counselor 2 and Choices Facilitator. Good evening. You can squish it, yeah. And the proclamation reads, whereas 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men in the United States have suffered severe physical violence by an intimate partner. Victims are deprived of their autonomy, liberty, security, and face tremendous threats to their health and safety. The problem of domestic violence is not confined to any group or groups of people, but crosses all economic, racial, gender, educational, religious, and societal barriers, and is sustained by societal indifference. The crime of domestic violence violates an individual's privacy, dignity, security, and humanity, due to the systemic use of physical, emotional, sexual, psychological, and economic control and/or abuse. Approximately 5 million children are exposed to domestic violence every year, and victims of violence should have access to medical and legal services, counseling, transitional housing, and other supportive services so they can escape the cycle of abuse. Whereas the House of Ruth provides life-saving domestic violence services for residents of Los Angeles and San Bernardino counties, the City of Chino works closely with the County of San Bernardino to offer Choices Batterers Treatment, a court-mandated program to help individuals identify and manage anger issues. And whereas the City of Chino is committed to working in partnership to increase public awareness of domestic violence and to eliminate it through prevention and education. Now, therefore, I, Eunice Emuloa, Mayor of the City of Chino, do hereby proclaim October 2019 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month and urge all citizens to work towards the elimination of domestic violence in our community. Lady?
Thank you so much, Mayor Uloa and council members. We really appreciate your support and acknowledgement of Domestic Violence Prevention Month here in October, such an important societal issue that we deal with here in our community. We want to really make it known that we do have counseling services available here at the city, thanks to the council's support. We are available to answer any questions, to help with family concerns that come up, to work with you individually or as a family, or when it's appropriate as a couple. We do receive referrals when the police department is involved and when people are open to counseling, and we're happy to facilitate the support and help that's so much needed. We know it's very difficult to ask for help, so that's why we're all here tonight to inform you that services are available. Please ask for help. We have many guests with us, so I'm going to pass it along. And we have, I'll let them all introduce themselves and the services that they provide.
Thank you, June. My name is Nicole Selovich. I'm the Choices Facilitator. Thank you, Mayor Uola, and thank you, City Council, for your continued support. Our Choices treatment program is a 52-week, court-mandated domestic violence anger management program where we are monitored under the supervision of San Bernardino County Probation. We are currently offering 4 male classes, 1 female class. Our program is highly structured where we make our participants be accountable and we give them tools to stop the domestic violence cycle. If there are any referrals, please call Chino Human Services at 909-334-3259. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Pat Bell. I'm the Executive Director for House of Ruth. I'd like to thank the City of Chino for inviting us out here tonight with this important proclamation. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and we're here just to lift our voices, to raise the issue of domestic violence awareness. It is a chronic issue in many homes throughout all of our communities, and it's nice to have partners like the City of Chino as well as your office to work together to eradicate violence. And we do spend quite a bit of time in order to support our vision. Ending domestic violence requires understanding what healthy relationships are all about. So we really try to tackle the younger generation in our high schools to teach them what is a healthy relationship and how to watch out for those warning signs of unhealthy, and that will prevent domestic violence. So we'd like to thank you for recognizing us with this proclamation. And because it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, we do have a Candlelight Vigil on October 24th at House of Ruth that we would love to invite you all to attend. And we use that evening just to honor those that have died at the hands of their abuser, as well as those that have survived. And then we have a fun event coming up on October 7th, Tacos and Brews at Claremont Craft Ale. So come out and have a taco and a brew with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Rhonda Beltran. I'm the Director of Development for House of Ruth, and I just want to thank you so much. This is my first time coming to this event. I want to thank you for recognizing House of Ruth and what they do for the victims of domestic violence. So thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Chantel Smith, and I am a client turned advocate turned board member. And I am actually living proof that services like these are very much so needed. So I cannot thank you enough, the City of Chino, for partnering with us to help us do the work that we do. So thank you.
Okay. You want a picture? Oh. Well, it's a pleasure having you here, and domestic violence is an issue, and we do need to all work toward eliminating it in our communities. So thank you for being here, ladies. Next, I'd like to call up Fire Chief Tim Shackelford from the Chino Valley Fire District. This is Fire Prevention Week, October 6th through the 12th. Hi, Tim. This week commemorates the Great Chicago Fire of 1871, which killed more than 250 people, left 100,000 homeless, and destroyed more than 17,400 buildings, and burned more than 2,000 acres. Today, fire kills more than 3,000 people in the United States each year, and more than 80% of all fire deaths occur in the home. Escape planning and practice is a commitment to safety. As in a typical home fire, you may have as little as 1 to 2 minutes to escape safely from the time the smoke alarm sounds. National Fire Protection Association declares the 2019 Fire Prevention Week theme, "Not every hero wears a cape. Plan and practice your escape," reminding everyone to be a hero for safety. By taking small but important actions as creating a home escape plan, you can be a hero. And the Chino Valley Independent Fire District is committed to the safety of life and property from devastating effects of fire. The Chino Valley Independent Fire District is joined by the City of Chino, City of Chino Hills, County of San Bernardino, the Chino Valley Fire Foundation, as well as other emergency service providers, businesses, schools, service clubs, and organizations in their fire safety efforts. The Chino Valley Independent Fire District calls upon the people of the Chino Valley to participate in fire prevention activities at home, work, and school, and to take steps needed to make their homes and families safe from fire. And whereas the Chino Valley Independent Fire District will hold the annual open house at the Fire District Training Center on Saturday, October 12, 2019, from 9 to 2 p.m. Now, therefore, I, Eunice Emilua, Mayor of the City of Chino, do hereby proclaim October 6th through the 12th as Fire Prevention Week, and we present this certificate very willingly, this proclamation, to Chief Shackelford.
Apologize for that. On behalf of the Board of Directors and the men and women of the Fire District, I'd like to thank you, Mayor, and the Council for this proclamation, focusing attention on the need for fire safety in the community. 4 C's of fire safety: cooking, candles, complacency, and cleanliness. So majority of fires in the home are kitchen or candles. Caution with both of those. Don't leave things unattended when you're cooking, and especially don't leave candles unattended in your home. A number of times we've responded in our community and people leave a candle unattended, and a pet, especially cats, are curious and sometimes will knock the candles over or will knock papers or things that are combustible near the candle over and start a fire. Complacency, please make sure that you have functioning batteries in your smoke alarms, especially for elderly family members. Some technologies have changed with that, and there are now smoke alarms that are available that have 10-year lithium batteries. So those are great if we have some older family members that aren't able to change batteries on their own. And then finally, the cleanliness piece. Make sure that you clean out the lint screens, dryer ducts, and don't leave combustible items near heat-generating appliances. And hoarding is a major issue. Make sure that you keep things tidy. And again, thank you for drawing attention to the open house on October 12th. And there'll also be a chili cook-off. There'll be some free chili available, and they'll be accepting donations to the Fire Foundation with that. So again, thank you very much, Mayor and Council.
Thank you for being here this evening. Okay, next we have some very special presentations. I'd like to call up our Chief of Police, Wes Simmons. He's going to be introducing Police Department promotions.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Gentlemen, if you could please come on up. So we have 7 of our promotees of our recent 10, and people ask, wow, how do you have so many promotees? And I would say it came actually from 2 retirements, Chief Comstock and Sergeant Whittam, and then one of the additional sergeant positions the council gave us this year. So, but just Chief Comstock retiring created 5 promotions, as one person gets promoted up and then people get promoted behind that. So that's what we have here today. I'd like to start off by introducing Captain Andy Bielen. So Captain Bielen started here in 2000. He was promoted on August 1st, 2019. He began his career with the Chino Police Department in 2000, and he's worked assignments in patrol, criminal investigations, and professional standards, and he's currently assigned to our Support Services Division, which is our Detective Bureau, Records Division. So, and I want to point out, I know we have some students here tonight. So Andy grew up in the city, and he's a conquistador, so he graduated from Don Lugo High School. So, all right. And next to him is Sergeant Frank Acuna. Frank was promoted on August 26th, 2019. He began his career here in 2004 as a patrol officer. He has served in the Criminal Investigations Bureau and as a background investigator, as well as several ancillary assignments, and he's currently one of our patrol sergeants. And then Sergeant Rob Franks, there on the end. So Sergeant Franks was promoted on August 26th as well. He began his career in 2001 as a patrol officer. He served in the Criminal Investigations Bureau and as a K-9 officer and a background investigator, and are currently assigned to our patrol division. Corporal Chad Randall, right here to my right, was promoted on July 15th, 2019. He began his career in 2001, first as a police cadet, and then attended the San Bernardino County Basic Law Enforcement Academy and was sworn in as a police officer in 2003. He has served on our K-9 unit and in our Detective Bureau, and beginning Monday, Rob will be assigned to the Detective Bureau as a detective. Corporal Sean Miller next to him. So Corporal Sean Miller was promoted to Corporal on July 29th, 2019, and began his career at our department In 2007, he has served as a patrol officer and a canine officer, and he's currently assigned to patrol as a corporal. So we got 3 canine officers up here, so that might say something about their talents there. And then Corporal Alex Blanco on the far right was promoted on August 26, 2019, and began his career with our department in 2010. He came by the way of the Upland Police Department and has served as a patrol officer and as an investigator in our Criminal Investigations Bureau. And on Monday, he's transferring to day shift patrol. So get your sunscreen. And then on my left here is Corporal Trevor Gray. He was promoted on August 26, 2019. He began his career with our department in 2012 after serving in the United States Army. He has served as a patrol officer and a drug task force officer and currently assigned as our backgrounds unit corporal. So if you're looking for employment at the Chino Police Department, talk to Corporal Gray. Also, Corporal Gray grew up in the city as well. He is a cowboy, so any Chino High School, very good. Little bit of a rivalry. So we appreciate this opportunity to be able to introduce some of our newest promotees to the community. We also have Lieutenant Nick Murata, who couldn't be here tonight, Sergeant Jesus Jaquez, and Corporal Anthony Semenza, who also couldn't be here. But thank you very much, Mayor, and we appreciate this opportunity. Okay, let's get it. Wait, we got to get a quick picture here.
Tonight's picture night. No, you need to be in there. Wes, you need to be in there. Congratulations again. You're welcome. It's nice to have homegrown officers. They really know this community. Okay, next we have the Disney Volunteers, the grant presentation to the Chino Youth Museum. I'd like to call up Dave and Nancy Sakurai, Steve Lewis, the Chino Youth Museum Board President, and any other Youth Museum Board members that are here this evening.
Thank you. Oh, well, I'll let them introduce themselves. But thank you very much, Eunice, and thank you, City Council members and City staff. I'm wearing a couple of hats tonight because since retiring, Nancy and I have joined the board of the Chino Youth Museum, and the donor sponsor could not be here tonight, which is Debbie Brown, but she continues the legacy of donating hours, not only volunteer hours, but monetary grants to the Chino Youth Museum. So again, tonight we would like to present the Chino Youth Museum $1,000.
My name is Nancy Sakurai. This is my husband. We joined the board this last year after I retired. My husband retired.
Good evening, everyone. And on behalf of the Chino Youth Museum and its board members, we want to thank Nancy and Dave Sakurai for this generous check, and Debbie Brown. We appreciate the partnership with Disney, and we'd like to thank everyone there in the Volunteer Ears program for their sponsorship. And Madam Mayor, we'd like to thank you for this opportunity and allowing us to come tonight and receive this wonderful gift. The museum appreciates it, and we're looking forward to how it helps us grow. Yes. This is Gloria Smith, and she is one of our longtime board members. And Nancy Lewis is also a board member with the museum. And we have Lizette.
Good afternoon. My name is Lizette Nunez, and I am a community service supervisor that oversees the museum.
Good evening. I'm Haley Page, and I'm the specialist here at the Chino Youth Museum.
The mayor just asked how many dollars that Disney has donated over the years. I believe it's got to be over 50,000 in the last probably 8 to 9 years. $50,000. So this is great. Another $1,000. Also, just putting on my board hat here. Bingo's coming up in November 4th. It's Monday night, and we're going to be celebrating our 20th anniversary coming up in December. So, and then in December 6th, and then next year again we start all over again with the Disney volunteers coming out to our Derriere 5K run. Oh, that's right. Dane wanted me to remind you, if anyone is interested in becoming a board member, hey, it only takes one night, one evening for an hour. So come out, and we usually do it on the first Monday of the month. So 1 hour a month, and it's really rewarding. It gives, how many have been to the Chino Youth Museum? Oh, well, we need to do better. So we need to get more of you involved. You don't have to, our kids are grown, but we're still involved with the community. We're still involved with the youth museum. So please think about that.
Got all these ads tonight, right? Thank you, you guys. And Disney has been an absolutely phenomenal partner. Thanks to David and Nancy. They were employed by Disney for how many years?
46 and 48.
46 and 48 years they were employed by Disney. And of course, they were very instrumental in getting all of that money previously to the city of Chino. Thank you all. I know, thank you. Okay, we have another really good group. I want to make a presentation to the Nonprofit of the Year Award, which is the Chino Youth Boxing Foundation. I'd like to call up Yolanda Holguin, the Chino Youth Boxing Board President, and then any other board members that you have with you tonight. Yolanda. Okay, well, let's do theirs first. Okay, this special award actually was given by the Assembly, Assemblyman Freddie Rodriguez, and it reads, Chino Youth Boxing Club, City of Chino, in honor of the 2019 Nonprofit of the Year. On behalf of the California State Assembly and the 52nd Assembly District, it's my honor to recognize you as the Nonprofit of the Year for the City of Chino. You have made a positive impact in the lives of many people. Thank you for your service and congratulations. And it's signed Freddie Rodriguez, Assembly Member 52nd District, dated July 20th, 2019. And then we also have our own recognition certificate. Congratulations on your special recognition from Assembly Member Freddie Rodriguez's office. Thank you for your service and dedication to the Chino Valley. And this is presented today, October 1st. The Boxing Foundation Club, it's an absolutely amazing club that has impacted so many kids' lives in our city. It started many, many years ago, and the board members worked very, very hard to keep the kids involved, raise money to help them offset some of their costs with the uniforms and stuff. And it's just been a tremendous asset for our community. Yeah, almost 60 years old.
Almost 60 years old. As the president of the Chino Youth Boxing Foundation, it has been an honor to be on this board. We have grown so much. We have done so much. We thank our boxers, our high achievers are in there, the parents and the support that we've gotten from the parents. It's what has made this organization one of the top organizations, and we are proud. Thank you if there's any of our parents and boxers out there. Our executive board, along with our board, has worked a lot of long hours, a lot of labor behind the kitchens, setting up, just going out there into the community, getting donations. I want to thank so much the city council, our mayor of the city, for all of their support and help. They have attended so many of our events. It's just an honor to have them there. We've had Councilman Lucio, who's here. Thank you for your donation, Mark Lucio, and the time and the labor you spent helping us with past Christmas. And also Dr. Paul, there he is. Also his support, he's been at the meetings, he's helped us, he's been at the gym. And Mary Ulloa, I just cannot believe how she went up there and made an announcement. I told her, Eunice, you got to go into that ring. Oh, no, no, I'll just stay at the edge of the ring. And she did. She is brave. And she went up there. And our other consumments that were there for hours. And that is definitely Mark Hardgrove and Tom Howie. Hours they sat in the audience. It's so beautiful to see the unitedness that we all have there in our community. This is what made our organization and has continued to make our organization strong. Thank you to our police department, our fire department, because you have been there at those events. Doctors who have volunteered and given us their time without charging us $1. We have ambulance services there. We go out there and get donations with food, so we're always looking for donations. And I got to give comment to RJ, who is new on our staff. Thank you so much. He has made the miracle we've been waiting for. RJ, thank you for all your work and support in our community services. Brenda's out there. And Mr. Carranza, you want to stand up? Come on, I want to see you. Yeah, and right behind you, don't hide. Come on, let's get up there. Thank you so much for all your time you have given us. Thank you very much. And I'll pass down the line to Mikey Agee, one of our oldest members on the board.
I've been a board member since 2001. My husband was a board member from 1985 to 2001 when he passed away, and it's been fun.
Hello, I'm Josie Garon. I'm vice president, and I've been on the board since 1995. And I've really enjoyed the growth and the direction that the boxing program has gone. And I really want to thank everyone who just comes out and supports us. It's not so much about, it is about boxing training, but it's more about fitness, them learning, they're getting mentored, they're learning to go outside the box. It's also kind of a social thing. It's like a club, it's like a gym, and it's really good. Sometimes people go, oh, well, the boxing program, they go to beat up each other. No, they learn skills, they learn social skills, they learn how to, they have to sign in, they're very dedicated, and I'm really proud of our coaches and just everyone that is involved in this program. Thank you.
Andrew and Mayor, you know, we're making a big difference in our children's lives in this community, and that's everybody throughout our community. So thank you, Mayor and members.
Delbert Salgado, I'm secretary, and I walked in the boxing program 53 years ago. We come a long ways since we were designated a gang diversion program. Our boxers are nationally known. They've garnered awards at the area level, state level, regional level, all the way to the national championships. It's a great place to work out. Men and women, boys and girls from 8 to 88. No kidding. We got a 72-year-old in there. So thank you. What makes me most proud is we're having our seniors that attend college come in with their pennants now. Or if you graduated from college, you come in with your pennant and it's hanging on the wall. And that makes me proud. Thank you very much.
This program, I personally watched it since 1984. This program creates such a difference in kids' lives. These young men and women, they learn respect, they learn responsibility, they're polite, they learn how to address an adult appropriately and treat each other with respect. It's much more than just a physical boxing program. They have to keep their grades up, they have to show responsibility. It's just a wonderful program. And Delbert, were you 2 when you walked into the boxing club 53 years ago? I think so. Got it. Thank you all for being here this evening. Thanks. Oh, God. This picture. Okay, next, we have the Mayor's Home Beautification Award for October 2019. I'd like to call up Tom and Deborah oh dear, Gualiardo. Hopefully did I do that right? Oh, great. Guagliardo. Okay. They live at 6515 Isaiah Court, and we're presenting them with the Mayor's Home Beautification Award, and it reads, "Thank you for your continued improvement and maintenance of your home, resulting in a substantial contribution to the overall appearance of the community." Present you with this. We also have a certificate of recognition from Supervisor Kurt Hagman in honor of receiving the Mayor's Home Beautification Award for the month of October. Okay, there's a second one. Here's a picture of your beautiful home. Very nice landscaping. We have 2 lapel pins, one for each of you. We have 2 pens for one for each of you. I know. And then we have the coveted yard sign so that everybody in your neighborhood knows that you have the October 2019 award.
Amazing.
So who does the yard work?
Tom does.
Well, we set up the front yard so I wouldn't have to work as hard. It's pretty much it's all rock and a lot of succulents, and it's designed so we don't have to use as much water.
That's excellent. Well, thank you all very much, and you'll enter into the pool for next year's State of the City address, and if you win the 2019 award, you'll be invited to join us at the State of the City. So thank you very much for being here this evening. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, prior to tonight's meeting starting, we did have a closed session, and I'd like our Attorney Galanto to please report out from that session.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the council and audience. The City Council met in closed session and discussed the sole item on the closed session agenda, namely conference with legal counsel, one item of existing litigation, the City of Chino and additional parties versus California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation and additional named parties. City Council received an update to the status of that litigation, provided direction, and no further reportable action was taken. That concludes the report out of closed session.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Ballantyne, are there any additions or revisions to the agenda?
Yes, Mayor and Council. I have 2 changes. One is item number 10. We request that this item be pulled. It's pertaining to Watson Land Company and them joining our service CFD, our Community Facility District. We're waiting for a waiver form for them to submit to us. So we would ask that that item be pulled. Again, that's item number 10. And then secondly, there was a software glitch in the software program that puts the agenda together. And so item number 18, we asked that that item be pulled. The council took action on that item and approved it on September 3rd.
Okay.
So staff's requesting items number 10 and 18 be pulled from the agenda.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, next are public announcements. Help bring in the fall season by stopping by the Chino Valley Historical Society's Harvest Festival on Saturday, October 12th from 10 to 2 p.m. at the Old Schoolhouse Museum located at 5493 B Street. This free event gives all attendees the chance to learn and experience Chino's rich agricultural history and culture by offering cow milking demonstrations, butter churning, seed planting, opportunities to visit the various museum exhibits, and much more. For more information, please call 909-334-3278. Also, I'd like to give an early reminder that the annual Halloween Spooktacular will be happening on Thursday, October 31st at our very own Ayala Park, located at the corner of Edison and Central Avenues, from 4 to 8 p.m. This is one of our most anticipated events and includes a variety of fun activities, including games, trunk or treating, costume contests, and much more. That was strange. For more, I don't know, it was like a feedback. For more information, please call 909-334-3258. And lastly, we will be adjourning tonight's meeting in memory of Jane Peavy and Montclair Councilmember Tricia Martinez, who both sadly passed away in September. To honor both, we will provide a brief summary of Nancy, or Jane, and Tricia, respectively. Nancy Jane Peavy. Jane Peavy was born on July 14th, 1929 in Guthrie, Oklahoma. As a child, Jane always wanted to be a teacher, and after earning her bachelor's degree from Oklahoma State University, she obtained this goal by earning her first job teaching in Ponca City, Oklahoma. After working in Oklahoma for a number of years, Jane and her family moved to California in 1957, calling it home ever since. Following her passion for teaching, Jane soon found a job teaching in California and ultimately dedicated 30 years of teaching kindergartners for the Pomona Unified School District. Upon her retirement, Jane and her husband Dale enjoyed traveling while Jane stayed involved in various groups that included a retired teachers group in the Claremont United Church of Christ. Jane survived by her 3 daughters, Jane Macbeth, Sue Clark, and Peggy Long, 7 grandchildren, and 15 great-grandchildren. Tricia Martinez. And lastly, our neighboring community, Montclair, is mourning the loss of Councilmember Tricia Martinez, who passed on September 21st after a brave battle with cervical cancer. Tricia had a profound commitment to public service in the Montclair community. Despite her diagnosis, Tricia consistently attended council or other board meetings, displaying an uncommon level of professionalism and commitment. During her 5 years as a council member, Tricia made certain to represent the voice of Montclair's seniors and youth. She also advocated for greater educational programs and served as the council's liaison to the Montclair School District. Tricia is survived by her husband Manny, 2 daughters, Corisa and Nicole, and grandson Roman Cisneros. Both of these women will be very, very strongly missed, and our thoughts go out to both families during this very difficult time. Next on the agenda is public comments. This is the time and the place for the general public to address the council about items that do not appear elsewhere on the agenda. We'd be happy to hear your concerns, but can't take action on anything that's not on the agenda. Our first request to speak is from Mr. John Mata. He's representing Calvary Chapel, Chino Valley, and is going to lead us in invocation. So I'll invite all those who would like to join us to please stand.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and council members. Thank you for this opportunity. Let's pray. Father, in Jesus' name, we come before you and we lift this council meeting up before you, Lord. We lay everything in the agenda at your feet, Lord. We ask for continual guidance of our mayor, city council members, Lord, you have placed them in authority as good stewards over this city, Lord. We pray for the law enforcement and first responders of this city, Lord. We pray for your protection and your peace and your love to cover all, Lord. We ask for guidance and wisdom, Lord, in directing and leading this city, Lord, that you have ordained with your light and your love, Lord. Continue to be with all the leaders of our city. Continue to guide all the citizens, Lord. And Lord, may your peace and mercy be upon all in this beautiful city, that we may be salt and light. And we ask this all in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Okay, next written request to speak is Steve Eli from IUA, Inland Empire Utilities Agency.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Good evening. I just wanted to stop in and say hi and talk to the folks of Chino that we mutually represent. I appreciate Councilman Hargrove came out and was able to take a tour of one of our facilities. As you may know, we have 3 or 4 operating facilities and probably well over 100 employees employed within the city of Chino limits. We provide wholesale water through the Metropolitan Water District and your WFA, and then also for the public's need, we also are the wholesalers, if you will, and treat wastewater and provide recycled water. So we appreciate the partnerships, both at the elected level as well as the staff level. Your water staff and our water staff work very well together, as well as the wastewater, and we're committed to continue that and keep the opening dialogue up. If there is a problem, we want to hear about it, obviously, and we will certainly note the kudos. One thing that we do together, as you may or may not know, is Earth Day, which is only 6 months away, if you can believe it, right now. We just seem to just have it, right? So we have Earth Day together at our park, at the wetlands down on the corner of Kimball and Prado. And just wanted to come by and make sure that, you know we're here. We appreciate all the things that the city of Chino does and provides and the working with us. We are in the middle of a tremendous expansion of our main wastewater treatment plant in Chino at Regional Plant 5. That's a $350 million project. We've just applied for a significant federal grant and loan to the tune of over $100 million, maybe even up to $2 million. So, people don't really think about it when they use their shower, they use their sink, they use their toilet. They don't think about where it goes. We have to plan for that for the whole region, for 875,000 people, almost 100,000 of which live in this community. So there's a lot going on, and we appreciate everything the city of Chino does, and certainly on that plant expansion, we're working hand in glove with the city staff on that, even though technically as another public entity, we can do what we want allegedly, but we want to work and make sure that everything's in conformance with what's going on here in the city. So unless anybody has any questions, I appreciate your time.
Well, thank you for coming down, Steve. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, thank you very much. Next written request to speak is Lisa Metheny from Chino Valley Medical Center. Lisa?
Good evening, Mayor Ulloa and Chino City Council. I just want to thank you for the letter that you wrote Chino Medical Center, urging the CEOs to finish negotiations. It is my hope that your letter helps move the process along in a fair manner. It is my hope that your letter drives Prime to value their nurses and invest in quality patient care. It is my hope that your support highlights the strength of this community. I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. The hospital is a very important entity for us, and we want it to be very successful.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then, okay, Lose Me? She didn't make it? Okay. All right, those are the written requests to speak that I have. Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to address the council on an item that's not on the agenda? Okay, we have a tradition here, and that is we're often visited by local students from high schools and some colleges, which is a requirement for their classes to attend a council meeting in order to get credits. We have a lot of students here this evening, so I'm going to invite you to come up to the lectern. Give us your name, the school you're attending, your teacher, and the class that you're taking. So please line up. Come on. You have to have proof. There are a lot of them.
There's a lot.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, my name is Daniela Percio, and I'm from Don Lugo, the high school. I'm taking government, and my teacher is Ms. Carpentier.
Thank you for coming this evening.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Alexis Lasoya. I go to Don Lugo High School, and I'm taking government with Mr. Kim.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Andrea Salge. I also go to Don Lugo High School, and I'm also taking government with Mr. Kim.
Hi, my name is Sarah Velasquez. I'm in Mr. Kim's class at Don Lugo High School, and I'm taking government.
Hi, I'm John Lynn. I go to Don Lugo High School, and my teacher is Mr. Kim.
And the class?
Oh, my government class.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Corinne Gonzalez. I go to Don Lugo High School, and I'm taking government with Ms. Carpentier.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jeremy Reynoso. I go to Don Lugo High School, and my teacher is Ms. Carpentier, and I'm doing it for government.
Thank you very much.
Hello.
You're going to film yourself?
My name is Jacob Ramirez from Don Lugo High School. My teacher is Mr. Kim. I'm doing this for government class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Cole Jerry. I'm a senior at Don Lugo, and I'm taking Gov class with Mr. Kim.
Thank you.
My name is Gabriel Villa. I'm doing this for Mr. Kim's class.
to and for government.
And what school?
Oh, Don Lugo.
Okay.
I'm Jabez Cabral. I go to Don Lugo High School. I'm doing this for Mr. Kim, US Gov.
Okay.
My name is Mark Wheeler. I got Mr. Kim. I go to Don Lugo High School.
Thank you.
My name's Eric Pineda. I go to Don Lugo High School, and I'm taking government for Mr. Kim.
Thank you.
My name's Luis Lopez, and I'm a senior at Don Lugo High School. And my teacher is Miss Carpentier. I'm taking government.
Hi, I'm Savannah Rebels. I'm taking government for Miss Carpentier at Don Lugo.
Hi, I'm Nadine Matkin, and I'm taking government at Don Lugo High School.
Teacher?
Miss Carpentier.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Roman Vansmeyes. I'm taking government at Don Lugo with Mr. Kim.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Gabriela Ojeda. I'm a senior at Don Lugo, and I am in Mr. Kim's government class.
Hi, I'm Katrina Vaca. I go to Don Lugo High School, and I'm taking government with Miss Carpentier.
I'm Hayden Miller. I go to Don Lugo High School, and I take U.S. Government with Mr. Kim.
Thank you.
My name is Brian Rosales. I go to Don Lugo High School, and I'm taking government for Mr. Kim.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Brian Aguilera. I go to Don Lugo High School, and I'm taking government with Kim.
My name is Eddie Sararas. I'm from Don Lugo, and I'm taking government with Mr. Kim.
Hi, my name. My bad. My name's Evan Gonzalez. I'm taking government, Mr. Kim.
And what school do you go to? Okay.
My name is Eduardo Martinez. I go to Don Lugo High School. I'm taking government, and my teacher is Miss Carpentier.
Thank you very much. Okay, did we get everybody? Are those all the students? Okay, thank you all for being here this evening. Next item on the agenda is the consent calendar. As been noted, we are pulling item, doggone it. We're pulling item number 11 and sending it, or item number 10, sending it back to staff. We also, I understand, are pulling item number 11.
Yes.
For a separate vote, and then possibly 7? Did you want 7? No. Okay, then I will take a motion for the balance of the consent calendar, please. Okay, there's a motion from Councilman Hargrove, second from Councilman Lucio. Come on. What? You can't, voting system. There you go. Okay, now vote. Okay, the item passes unanimously, 5-0. Okay, next we will take a motion. Item number 11 is adopting the ordinance number 2019-008, which is for the Chino Parcel Delivery Facility. This item was approved at the last meeting, but it was with a split vote, so we're pulling it for a separate vote to be consistent. So I would entertain a motion for item number 11. There's a motion from Mayor Pro Tem Howie, second from Councilman Rodriguez. Please vote. And we have 4 yes, 1 being no, and that is being Councilman Lucio. Okay, next under public hearing. Item number 13, 2019 zoning code update. This is the introduction of ordinance number 2019-013, amending Title 20 zoning of the Chino Municipal Code. Prior to our staff report, I'd like to open the public hearing and then request a staff report from our city planner, Mr. Warren Morleone.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council. From time to time, planning staff initiates a zoning code update to clarify and update requirements and address inconsistencies with the code. This year's proposed changes consist of modifications to several chapters of the code that are routine in nature and are intended to correct discrepancies in language within the current zoning code and within state law requirements. The last zoning code update was done or approved by the council in August 2017, A summary of the proposed changes is provided in your staff report and outlined in the attached zoning code ordinance. The changes include changing a number of title headings in zoning code districts as a cleanup item from allowed uses in to land use regulations 4. Staff is also proposing to modify the residential land use table to clearly identify that short-term rentals are not permitted within the city. Another change staff is proposing is to require an administrative approval application for private outdoor sports courts. As another cleanup item, staff is clarifying the required structure setback for alleys in residential zones. Staff is also requesting to add veterinary clinics in the CG, CR, and CS commercial zones, and in the BP, M1, and M2 industrial zones. Another cleanup item is to clarify the required setback in the neighborhood commercial zones against residential districts. Staff would also like to add a requirement that permits incidental spray booths for primary uses. So instead of having all uses that spray materials, whether it's a cabinet shop or somebody making parts, instead of requiring a CUP, they would be just permitted. Staff is still requiring that any auto body or other use like that still requires a CUP, so we think we're covered. A couple of more cleanup items include clarifying hazardous material standards and the required rear and interior side setback industrial zones to be consistent. Another change staff is proposing is to add office professional and social services, charitable institutions and services in the public zone, and allow restaurants, also allow those in the public zone with a conditional use permit. Another cleanup item is to modify the downtown overlay district to address accessory dwelling unit requirements. We've done it last year in the code. We just missed this section, so we're going to go ahead and update that section to be consistent with state law. We're also going to add standards in the wall design sections to require additional setbacks for taller walls. So anything above 6 feet, it will require another foot for every foot setback for every foot it's taller than 6 feet. So we've had some wall concerns that we want to go ahead and address, and this is one to give it a bigger setback. Also want to look at wall designs in terms of where to put pilasters and the size of pilasters. We currently do some of these requirements, but we're putting them in the code just to make sure when an applicant looks at it, they know that, hey, these are requirements of the city. We're also adding a standard for outdoor break areas in the office and industrial zone. This is what we call the Walt Pocock standard, because Commissioner Pocock brought it up, and we've been using it ever since. It totally makes sense, and it makes everything work better. We're modifying parking structure section, and that is just to make it consistent with building code, adding requirements for screening on metal gates. We do a good job in designing industrial buildings and the walls that cover the outdoor loading areas and storage areas. Now we want to make sure that the gates that are used to go inside of those have metal on them so it can screen what's behind it. Clarifying live entertainment standards. That's just an update to clarify that stuff. I'm almost done. Changing standards for rooftop equipment. If it's on a roof, we're going to permit it by right, and that's just to make it consistent with state law. And last and finally, we're adding a few definitions: outdoor sports courts definition, short-term rental definition, and then we're modifying the veterinary clinic definition to be clear when we enforce the provisions that I went over for you this evening. I want to point out that the Planning Commission did recommend approval of all the changes before you. They didn't make any modifications at the Planning Commission level on August 19, 2019. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Warren. Any council members have questions? Tom?
Yeah, Warren, regarding the live entertainment permits, those are generally good for 12 months then usually on those, or is there a more specific time on live entertainment permits?
Yeah, I believe you're correct. the reason we changed this is the police department now enforces and is the keeper of the live entertainment, and they bring it to you for any changes or any updates or new live entertainment permits. But I think you're correct.
But if for a single event, that's a different permit, right?
Correct.
And that, would the single permit also, well, I guess it really doesn't matter, a single, it's not 80 square feet or 1,000 square feet for
Right.
the audience.
It's a different animal.
Okay, so if somebody wants to have an event, they're not going to need a SCUP for that?
No, sir.
Okay, good. Just want to clarify that.
Okay, any other questions of Warren? Okay, then I would invite the public to speak on this item. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address this particular ordinance? Okay, seeing none, then we will close the public hearing. Any other final comments or questions? Okay, then I would call for a motion, please. Motion from Councilman Lucio, second from Councilman Hargrove.
And before you read the results, Madam Mayor, if I
Yes,
could
sir.
read the title of the ordinance.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You caught me.
I knew you would get to me. Before the council is ordinance number 2019-013, entitled An Ordinance of the City Council of the City of Chino, California, amending selected provisions of the zoning code, Title 20 of the Municipal Code of the City of Chino, PL 19-0062, Zone Ordinance Amendment, reading by title only and waiving further reading. Thank you.
Okay, and the item does pass unanimously. Next item on the agenda is item number 14 under new business, California Uniform Public Construction Cost Accounting Act. This item is to adopt resolution number 2019-063, electing to become subject to the California Uniform Public Construction Cost Accounting Act, and introduction of ordinance number 2019-016, amending provisions of the Chino Municipal Code, Chapter 2.32, Purchasing Ordinance. Our staff report this evening will be provided by our purchasing manager, Ria Medina. I don't think you're on.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and members of City Council. As a general law city, the City of Chino is currently subject to the provisions of the California Public Contract Code sections that govern how and when public projects are to be advertised, bid, and awarded. One of the provisions in this state law require the city to let any public project in excess of $5,000 to the lowest responsible bidder after complying with the formal bidding procedures prescribed by statute. These procedures are both time-consuming and costly. In 1983, state legislature enacted the Uniform Public Construction Cost Accounting Act, also known as the Act, as an alternative bidding procedure designed to reduce cost, expedite the awards process, reduce inefficiencies, and simplify administration of smaller public projects. It is a voluntary program available to public agencies in the state, but only applies to those public agencies that have opted in to the provisions of the Act. So far, there are 250 cities that have opted into the Act, and some of those are our neighboring cities, such as City of Ontario, Chino Hills, Claremont, Corona, and Rancho Cucamonga. If the city opts in to the Act and amends the purchasing ordinance, all purchases, including public works projects with an estimated cost of $10,000 or less, may be awarded by negotiated contract or purchase order without competitive bidding. Purchases greater than $10,000 up to $100,000 require solicitation of 3 or more written bids using informal bidding procedures, while purchases of over $100,000 must follow the formal bidding procedures prescribed in the Act. I'd like to point out that these limits apply to bidding procedures only. It does not apply to the Purchasing Approval Authority. So staff is proposing an amendment to the purchasing ordinance that increases the Purchasing Approval Authority as well. If the amendment is approved, department heads will be authorized to approve purchases made by their departments of up to $10,000, while city manager will be authorized to approve purchases of up to $50,000, and any purchase of over $50,000 must be approved by the city council. So just to be clear, regardless of the bidding procedure, whether it's informal or formal bidding procedure, if the purchase price is over $50,000, City Council approval will still be required in order to award the contract or purchase order. Also, while increasing the dollar limits for the purchases and approval authority allow an expedited bidding process for public works projects, the approval process for projects remain unchanged. City Council retains full control and oversight of the project approval process by annually adopting the Capital Improvements Program budget. It also is important to note that the participation in the Act and the proposed amendment to the purchasing ordinance do not affect the city's obligation to complete public projects at the lowest possible cost, nor does it relieve the city from its obligation to pay prevailing wages of any public projects of $1,000 or more. Staff believes that these less formal procedures and increased purchasing authority limits allowed through the Act will significantly reduce the cost and time associated with accomplishing small public projects. It will also allow quicker contract awarding process and improve project schedules, which results to faster response times and greater efficiencies that will help improve the quality of life for the residents of the city of Chino. It is therefore staff's recommendation that the City Council adopt a resolution that subject the City of Chino to the Act and introduce an ordinance amending the Chino Municipal Code for the purpose of adopting the Act. That concludes my report, and I'm available for any questions.
Thank you very much, Rhea. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the council on this item? Okay, seeing none. Any questions from staff? From council to staff or comments? Okay, then I would entertain a motion. Seems to make a lot of sense. Motion from Mayor Pro Tem Howie, second from Councilman Lucio.
And if I may, Madam Mayor?
Yes, Fred. I almost forgot you again. I know. Doggone it.
Amongst the actions being taken by the City Council, it includes introduction of ordinance number 2019-016, entitled An Ordinance of the City Council of the City of Chino amending provisions of the City of Chino's purchasing ordinance at Chapter 3.32 of the Chino Municipal Code, reading by title only and waiving further reading. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome, and the item passes unanimously. You caught me twice now. Okay, item number 15, award of contract tree trimming maintenance operations. This is to award a contract to West Coast Arborists Incorporated of Anaheim, California, in the amount of $617,200 annually for tree trimming maintenance operations citywide. Staff report this evening will be provided by our Assistant Public Works Services Manager, Mr. Frank Sotomayor.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. So before you is a tree trimming maintenance operation agreement. As you may know, it is the city's goal to maintain attractive, safe, and beneficial urban forests for our community and for the environment. For the past 3 years, Tree Trimming Land Company of Southgate, California, has been performing tree trimming maintenance for the city. Staff plan to extend TLC's contract for fiscal year 2019-2020. However, TLC was unable to secure bonds for the new fiscal year. As a result, specifications were prepared and a request for proposal was published on Planet Bids. On September 10, 2019, the city received 5 proposals, which staff then performed an evaluation process. After an extensive review, it was concluded that West Coast Arborists of Anaheim, California, ranked the highest and being the most qualified bidder for the proposed work. West Coast Arborist references indicated that they have a strong track record within the industry, having the knowledge and experience required to perform maintenance services throughout the city. As you may notice on the table provided on the staff report, not only did the West Coast Arborists score the highest, they also offered one of the lowest cost per tree, being $70 per tree. Therefore, staff recommends the City Council award a contract to West Coast Arborists for a not-to-exceed amount of $617,200 per fiscal year. That concludes my report, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions of Mr. Sotomayor? Tom?
So we were paying $51 a tree. Now we're going to have to pay $70 a tree. So we're getting about a 40% increase in our tree trimming.
That is correct, yeah.
Okay. Were we just getting a great deal from this other company, or?
Yeah, that was a 3-year amount contract that was done 3 years ago. And of course, everything with growth going up, now all the tree companies that actually put their bids, $70 was very low compared to everything else that came in.
Okay. All right. Will they trim more of the tree than the previous one? Or what? Will we get a little extra time there to make up that difference?
Well, I also would add that I think part of their, the workers' comp costs have gone up as well as the bonding, and that's part of the reason why we are in the position that we are now.
Okay.
It's just their costs have gone up significantly.
I'll tell you, I wish we could get our trees trimmed at our house for $70 a tree. Holy cow. Okay, any other comments or questions? All right, then I would entertain a motion. There's a motion from Councilman Lucio, second from Mayor Pro Tem Howie. And this item passes unanimously. Item number 16, purchase order, emergency sewer bypass pump trailer. This item is to approve a purchase order to West Coast Safety Supply Company Incorporated in Encinitas, California, in the amount of $118,722.05 for the purchase of one emergency sewer bypass trailer. Our staff report this evening will be provided by our Public Works Services Manager, Mr. Dave McAbee.
Good evening, Mayor and members of City Council. The Public Works Department is responsible for the maintenance and repair of the city's sewer system. To better assist with emergency repairs, the fiscal year 2019-20 budget includes funds for the purchase of one emergency sewer bypass pump trailer to be assigned to Public Works. This piece of equipment will be utilized when a sewer pipe is blocked or fails. The pump will allow staff to bypass the blockage, which will aid in the repair process and help minimize the amount of sewer overflow. Specifications were prepared and the bid notice was published on Planet Bids and broadcasted to 74 vendors. On August 13th, 2019, the city received one bid for this solicitation. West Coast Safety Supply Company Incorporated of Encinitas, California, was determined to be a responsible and responsive bidder with a bid amount of $118,722.05. Therefore, staff recommends that City Council approve a purchase order to West Coast Safety Supply Company in the amount of $118,722.05 for the purchase of one emergency sewer bypass pump trailer. That concludes my report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Dave. Any questions of staff? Okay, then a motion, please, would be appropriate. Motion from Councilman Hargrove, second from Councilman Rodriguez. Item passes unanimously. Item number 17, vendor cap increase to Calgon Carbon Corporation for granular activated carbon removal and reactivation services. This is to approve a vendor cap increase to Calgon Carbon Corporation in the amount of $200,000 for granular activated carbon removal and reactivation services. Boy, that's a mouthful. Staff report this evening will be provided by Management Aide Austin Postavoit.
Very well done. I know it's a mouthful, both the name and the Calgon Corporation title. In early 2018, carbon filtration vessels were installed at our centralized water treatment facilities to remove 123 TCP from our groundwater supply to comply with the newly enacted maximum contaminant levels. Since that time, the carbon filtration vessels have been successfully removing the contaminant. Carbon within the treatment vessels removes 123 TCP by absorbing the contaminant, and over time will reach its absorption capacity, which is known as breakthrough. At this point, the spent carbon is replaced with reactivated carbon. In July of 2019, Council approved the award of a sole source agreement with Calgon Carbon Corporation for the purchase of carbon for the proprietary vessels. Due to limited operational data available at the time of award, $200,000 was budgeted for reactivation of the carbon in the 8 lead vessels at the Eastside and Benson water treatment facilities. Now that a full cycle of data is available and the lead times for reactivation are known, staff can better plan for carbon changeouts during the next operational cycle. It is anticipated that the carbon in all 16 vessels will need to be changed out on an annual basis. Therefore, staff is recommending the Council appropriate $200,000 from the Water Enterprise Fund and approve a vendor cap increase with Calgon Carbon Corporation in an amount of $200,000 for a total annual vendor cap amount not to exceed $400,000. That concludes my report, and I would be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Austin. Any questions? Okay. Okay, seeing none, then a motion to approve this item would be appropriate. There's a motion from Mayor Pro Tem Howie, second from Councilman Hargrove, and this item passes unanimously. Item number 18, as was noted, is pulled, is no longer on the agenda. Next item on the agenda is mayor and council reports. So since our last council meeting, on Wednesday, the 18th, I attended the mayor's prayer breakfast. On Thursday, the 19th, I attended the appropriative pool confidential session and also the Water Master Advisory Committee. The revised 2014-15 through 2019-20 assessment packages were approved. Labor-intensive projects such as the Rules and Regulations Update, the Optimum Basin Management Program Update, and the Storage Management Plan underway, which is requiring a lot of time and effort from the Water Master parties. These plans and programs are all related in one way or another in managing this groundwater basin and ensuring water for our region into the future. As with any limited precious resource, agreeing on managing this groundwater basin is complicated and problematic, and it's extremely important that all parties in the basin work together to ensure that this valuable asset is properly maintained. Saturday, the 21st, I attended the Chino Classic Choice event. Didn't win, no doggone it. B&B Lock won. Thursday, the 26th, Mayor Pro Tem Howie and I met with Eric Paffler regarding Borstein's modifications to the Francis Estates project, which is being proposed in the northern sphere of influence area around Francis and Yorba. The developer is pushing ahead with the project in spite of the fact that we're in the process of studying the entire area in order to determine a master plan for the entire sphere to ensure orderly, compatible development. Also attended the Water Master Board of Directors meeting, and then Chris Wolf's retirement, but I'm going to let Tom report on that because I was only there for just a very few minutes. On Saturday, the 28th, I attended Pastor Sheldon Boyd's daughter, Sherry Demoff's celebration of life. She passed at age 34 after a 3.5-year battle with cancer. She was a beautiful, caring lady who touched so many lives. And in spite of all that she was going through, she held passionately to her Christian beliefs and her concern for others' welfare way before her own. Within the pamphlet that was handed out at the service, there were many written remembrances of Sherry, and all of them recounting her courage, her compassion, her love for others, and her love for the Lord. It was very, very touching. And her dad, Pastor Sheldon Boyd, also spoke at the service, which I cannot imagine doing for your own child. And then Monday, yesterday, I attended, along with Mayor Pro Tem Howie, the memorial service for our neighbor Jane Peavy, who I spoke about earlier this evening. Again, a very, very touching service. She was such a wonderful lady and left such a legacy for her kids and her grandkids and great-grandchildren. You know, it's really too bad that it takes losing someone and attending a funeral service like that to find out details about people's lives. You may know them for years and years and years and really not understand what they're really about until you hear testimony from a family.
Yeah.
She had so many little special things she did for her family. Every birthday, every special event, she sent her kids and grandkids a $2 bill with a special card. Where in the world she found all the $2 bills, I'll never know. And then she baked these very special rolls for every occasion, and just all the different little things. She had chocolate-covered graham crackers always available whenever the kids stopped by or the grandkids stepped by. There was just so many touching stories. It was a beautiful memorial.
Yeah.
But again, it just, it makes you really appreciate, we need to really treasure those around us and, appreciate each other, because you never know when you're going to lose somebody. So with that, Tom, your report.
Thank you. Yeah, and it was such a touching ceremony that she was such a caring person. I think it made everybody in there feel like they wanted to be nicer to people.
Yeah.
Just because she was just so nice to people and took care of so many people.
She's everybody's grandma.
Yes, everybody's grandma,
Everybody's
yeah, exactly. So I attended a number of different events the last couple of weeks, a couple of Chino DeSalter Authority water meetings, and also with the Chino Francis Estates meeting, also with Richland Homes, we're showing some changes down in the preserve area. They had a meeting and looked at some of their ideas and plans that they want to put through. Also, the YMCA, I was surprised the YMCA were giving out awards, and they actually gave me an award, what they call a Bridge Builder Award, for a number of years that I've been on the board, and it was a luncheon at Fleming's, and it was really a nice event. I and a couple of other people came through, and they had about 4 people were honored, and I was honored, and it was just really nice. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Building bridges.
For
huh?
building, I didn't really exactly build a bridge, but it was probably from, I probably should have made that a little clearer. But it's just for all the fundraising we've done and helping the Y, and what a great community partner the YMCA is for us, so that. And then, of course, Chris Wolf's retirement was phenomenal. Chris, one of our employees in the police department, she had what a career she had for over 25 years. Emergency preparedness was her big thing, and she helped so many people. Such a great asset to the police department and to the city, and it was very well done. Her retirement. She's a great speaker. She's really going to sorely missed. Chris is, and just such a special person. It helps make our city so great that it is. And then let's see what else. Last but not least, I want to invite everybody. Rancho del Chino Rotary is having a bingo. It seems like everybody's throwing a bingo every week in town. But October the 7th at Brinderson Hall at 6 p.m., our Rotary Club is having bingo dinner, $25, and you can chance to play bingo, win some money, have a lot of fun, see a lot of people. So if you're interested, I would say call the city manager, but it's okay. You can check us out, Rancho del Chino Rotary Club. Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Hargrove.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Just in regards to Chris Wolf, I didn't get an opportunity to go to her celebration, but I did speak to her previously before she retired. And yes, she was phenomenal. Even when I served down, was working down at the prison as their emergency coordinator down there, there was such respect for her and the way she coordinated the Met meetings. And every quarter, everyone looked forward to going to those, and they were just phenomenal. So I hope she really enjoys her retirement, and it's so deserving. I also met with Councilman Lucio, met with Bornstein Enterprises regarding the Francis Estates. And then later that evening on the 27th, I actually had the honor and privilege to act as the Grand Marshal for the Chino High School's first annual homecoming parade.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, it was phenomenal, and my appreciation goes out to the city for whatever participation they had involved in that and making that happen. It was really cool. The Pomona Valley Corvette Club supplied about 12 Corvettes. I don't know if I was in the nicest one, but it was really nice, the one I was in. So that may be as close as I get to having one. So, but yeah, just phenomenal event. And then they went on, and Chino High School is doing very well in their football program. I think they had a comeback win that night in the fourth quarter and beat the team 21-14. So
Terrific.
Great for all around for the homecoming. And that concludes my report.
Where did their parade go?
It started like 10th Avenue, 10th Street, going down 10th to Park from Jefferson, and then turned the corner and went into the stadium. So just real short. Just some alumni there. They had alumni float. They had a lot of course, the court, the homecoming court, princess, I guess princes and princesses, and the former king and queen. And it was nice. Senator Connie Leyva showed up, and she was in one of the Corvettes. And really nice event. Short, sweet, to the point. And
oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was nice. So thanks again.
Good. Councilman Lucio.
Yes, on the 23rd, I attended a community service meeting. Some of the things that they talked about was some of the upcoming events. On October 12th, they're going to have the Chino Valley Historical Society Harvest Festival. It's going to be from 10 to 2 at the old Schoolhouse Museum. They're also going to have the Halloween Spooktacular, October 31st at Ayala Park from 4 to 8. On the 27th, I met with Bornstein Enterprises regarding the Francis Estates. And on the 28th, I had the honor of attending the installation luncheon at the Senior Center, where they announced their board members. They basically were the same people doing it again. But it was, we actually got to see some folklorical dancing, some Spanish Latin dancing. They did a great job. That's really little, I think there was a 3-year-old girl that was out there dancing, and she was really into it, and she was really cute watching the little kids just go out there and dance. And I just want to end with, I just want to remember the 58 people that were killed in the Las Vegas massacre 2 years ago. And my heart goes out to them and to the 422 people that were wounded. And that's all I have to report.
Okay, thank
Well,
you.
I do have one more thing for the nurses at Chino Valley. I just want to tell you thank you. A couple years ago, my mom had a medical emergency. She went over to the hospital. She spent a couple days there, and you guys really took care of her. And I really appreciate it. You guys went over and above what I thought she was going to receive as far as treatment. But we definitely do support your cause. And from the Lucio family, we're really thankful for the service you guys provided. And that's it.
Councilman Rodriguez.
Yes, on September 19th, I attended the Commercial Real Estate Development Association, and the title of the okay. Excuse me. September 19th, I attended the Commercial Last Real Estate Development Association. Title of the event was The Last Mile of Reality, Logistics and Commerce as the Economic Development Driver for the Inland Empire. There was a number of speakers, and our own city manager, Matt Ballantyne, spoke highly of how the city of Chino really tries to balance out the aesthetics with the needs of the city and growth, and how we try to focus in not only money, but also what is important for development and for climate change and so forth. So it was well done by Matt. That same day, September 19th, I attended the State of Education. That was Dr. Superintendent Ted Alejandro gave an inspirational innovation to about 200 or 300 people concerning the state of San Bernardino County schools and how students are looking forward to many different types of jobs, and how they must be prepared to be vigilant as to be prepared to be going into these different jobs. And there's some jobs that have not even been established that they need to look into. That same evening, I attended the League of California Cities at the Ontario Convention, which was a review of the pensions, and our own Rob Burns, Director of Finance, gave a very good speech, or gave a demonstration as to how we have done a great job in pensions in our own city. And he was willing to offer help to any other organizations in cities. It was well done and well attended. September 23rd, this last Monday, I attended the RENA, which is the Regional Housing Needs Assessment. And right now, there's continued talks with RENA. As we all know, there's a lot of numbers that just one shoe does not fit all, and the numbers need to be readjusted according to the needs of each city. The next RENA meeting will be October 7th, which will be this coming Monday. I too attended the September 26th Chris Wolf's retirement, which was well attended and well done. She served 25 years, as was noted, and has done a fantastic job for the city of Chino. On September 27th, as part of the Alignment for Education San Bernardino County Schools, I attended a meeting that focused on the future of technology now and in the future. And what the speaker was saying was that jobs need to be focused on visionary thinking to create and train people for future jobs, and to connect cities with the idea of technology, with e-vehicles, as I have mentioned in the past, smarter connection and smarter technologies. September 28th, Councilman Lucio and I did attend the senior citizen installation, and it was well attended, and the dancing was phenomenal. It was very, very, very well. As part of a SCAG, I have some information to address to all of you. SCAG can be found on www.saag.ca.gov/RHNA, RHNA, if any of you would want to look at it on the web. But what was stated there at the last meeting that I attended was that the state Senate passed Senate Bill 5 by a bipartisan vote of 31-4. And what Senate Bill 5, or SB 5, establishes a state partnership with cities and counties to provide an ongoing, sustainable, and accountable source of funding to support construction of affordable housing and help address the affordable housing shortage of working families. They went on to mention also the area of the crisis of the homeless. Almost half of all unsheltered homeless people in the United States are in California, a level about 4 times as high in California's share of overall U.S. populations. Take a look at our climate. We live in a very nice climate. Los Angeles alone is home to about 19% of the nation's unsheltered homeless. A recent Council of Economic Advisors, CEA, report finds that even when controlling for high home prices and mild temperatures, the state's unsheltered homeless population is more than twice as high as expected. There are nearly 6 times as many single adults living on the streets of California as there are emergency shelter beds targeted to them, the highest such rate in the country. Leaving California's homeless, unsheltered, unhealthy, and unsafe is a human tragedy and unacceptable. And we need to remember that the homeless are not widgets, they're human beings. Thinking about this also is compounding the homeless crisis. It's also the idea that California also has undercut the ability of police officers to enforce quality of life laws, remove encampments, and connect our most vulnerable populations with the supportive services they need to get off the streets. Many communities outside of California have developed robust strategies to partner law enforcement with social workers to actively refer homeless individuals to services. California must provide its dedicated police officers and social service workers with the tools they need to protect the communities they serve in our most vulnerable populations. I like to say that our department and our community services has done a really great job, and I think that we need to be continuously proactive in finding out what we can do. We don't see that many on our streets yet, but the way they're saying it's going to get pretty bad. And we must be diligent and proactive. And we must also realize that when it comes to mental health with different syndromes and psychological depressions, the city cannot do it alone. We have to look towards our county, towards our state, and even our federal for help. And there are many, many grants out there that we should be looking into being proactive. But there again, I commend the police department and for first responders and our Dr. Reich for the great job she does with community services and all the services she provides to the city and to the homeless. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Okay, City Manager Ballantyne, anything this evening?
Mayor, I have 2 items. First, we saw many new faces present staff reports this evening, and I want to commend staff on their preparation. In fact, Austin even brought some of the granular carbon with him to show everybody. Anyhow, I thought staff did a phenomenal job, and so I appreciate all those that presented this evening. You did a great job. Secondly, the Preserve, we have office hours, again, on the first Thursdays of every month from 6 to 8 p.m. We'll be meeting down at the Preserve Community Center. We have a special guest that will be joining us that evening, our new police chief. So certainly if the folks down in the community would like to meet with the chief, this would be a great opportunity. And then we might take a break as we get closer to the holidays but I will announce that at our next meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Galantine. Good grief. Galante. I
Thank
just combined you guys.
I interrupted you enough. I guess I deserve it. No report tonight. Thank you, Mayor.
Oh, my goodness sakes. 2 for 1. Chief Simmons.
Thank you very much. First of all, I just want to thank the council for their support of the men and women of the Chino Police Department. It is truly felt over there. Every event that you guys come to, whether it's a retirement or a promotion, it's really appreciated, so thank you. And I wanted to let the community know that tomorrow is National Coffee with a Cop Day, and we will be hosting our own Coffee with a Cop at the Starbucks at Central in Philadelphia between 2:30 and 4. So we welcome the public to come out and join us for that.
Not in the morning.
No, in the afternoon. Thank you very much.
2:30 to 4 at Starbucks. Okay. Chief Shackelford.
Mayor Ullo and Council, good evening once again. Just 2 quick items. Wanted to invite the public to the Board of Directors meeting for the Fire District next Wednesday. That's the 9th at 6 p.m., 14011 City Center Drive in Chino Hills. And then finally, one last shameless plug for the open house that the mayor mentioned earlier, and that's October 12th from 9 to 2. And that's at the Fire District Training Center, 1592 Schaefer Avenue. And that should be a great time, especially for anyone with small children. Please bring them out. That should be a great event. Thank you.
Hey, Tim, are you going to guarantee we're not going to be about 95 degrees out there? It seems like every year that thing is always the hottest day of the year.
It's either hot or last year we had some rain. So
There
we're
you
hoping
go.
for something in between this year.
Something
Be a little
in
nicer.
between. All right, good.
Okay, with that, we are going to adjourn in the memory of Jane Peavy and Montclair Councilmember Tricia Martinez. Our next regular meeting of the City Council will be held on Tuesday, October 15th, here in the council chambers at 7 o'clock with closed session at 6 if necessary. We are adjourned.